Hey, my friends, I hope you're well today. I'm Alex. I'm a nervous system coach helping you master your energy so you can begin actualizing your ideal life. Today, we are diving into the subject of dynamic breath work. And we're going to talk about the wondrous world of dynamic breath work, or we could not name it altered state breath work. Okay, so the depth of our nervous system is so deep, it's so fabric, it's so intricate. We need alternative tools and segues to be able to access these deeper elements. And guess what, my friends? Dynamic breath work is where it's at, because we can now use specific rhythmic patterns of the breath. I specifically use conscious connected breath work to access these deeper layers. And when I say deeper layers, I'm talking about trauma patterning. I'm talking about our core beliefs. I'm talking about unconscious thought patterns. We can actually start diving in and rewiring and revamping all of this inner work and inner landscape, all with a rhythmic pattern of the breath. Sounds fantastic, right? Woo! For me personally, it's been a fantastic journey utilizing that. I've actually experienced it to its deepest degree, and I also facilitate this with my clients as well. Okay, so let's dive in. Let's dive into the fabric of it. What's it all about? Dynamic breath work, altered state breath work. Altered state breath work. Yes. Let's do it, man. Okay, so what happens? Okay, so we find a rhythmic breath. I specifically, like I said, use conscious connected breath work, which is a rhythmic pattern, which guides us through different states and altered states. Okay, so let's focus in on the brainwave states, and we've got four brainwave states. They are beta, which is like thinking mind. We've got alpha, which is like flow state. Then we have theta, which is just before we go into sleepness. And then we have delta, which is sleep. Yes, we have that REM sleep going on. Wow, where all the juicy good stuff happens as well. So this is so cool, man. Like with the breath work and with this rhythmic breath work pattern, we can access these different brainwave states. What does this mean? Okay, so in regards to our trauma, in regards to those deep core beliefs and trauma patterns that we have going on, we have some things as humans that are tripping us up along the way when it comes to being able to process the emotional turbulence of life. So when I say about accessing our deeper elements of our nervous system, it means essentially the impressions of our past. It means the energetic emotional library that we have built up within our system up to this point. And it's really cool that I brought in the brainwave states, because it's a certain brainwave state which keeps us and trips us up from processing emotion within this now moment. And that is the brainwave state of beta. Beta is like the fastest brainwave state, which means our brainwave state is going on faster cycles. So this would be our problem solving, thinking, analytical side. And it's this brainwave state which prevents us from entering the state of flow and relaxation that we need for the energy to pass through us when we go through turbulent moments and high emotional moments in life. And we have lots of fundamentals and variables which influence this as well. We could talk about our culture, our family dynamic, our lack of ability to be able to just generally process emotion within our culture, because let's face it, in the West, we don't really know what's going on when it comes to processing emotion. We don't know anything about nervous system work. We don't know anything about breath work. We don't know how to journey really the depth and richness of this human experience. That's why it's so cool. So bringing ourselves back to altered state breath work. So with altered state breath work, we get the chance to switch off and slow down these brainwave states, and we get to come away from the fast-paced, problem-solving, analytical mind. So this means, let's go a little bit deeper into the physiology now. Okay, so the physiology of the brainwave physiology. So when we shift down and we get to slow down the brainwave states and we come into more of an alpha state, which would be like flow state in the moment, like, you know, when you're so immersed in an activity, you're like, damn, I'm so connected to this. There's no thoughts. It feels clear. There's an undertone of peace and bliss. Really cool bit of knowledge in here. There's something called anandamide, which is labeled the bliss molecule. Ananda means bliss in Sanskrit. Yes, oh my God, that's right, baby. That gets released in this state. So we start to deepen our levels of relaxation because of the brainwave state slowing down. And when we get into theta, it's almost like the state akin to sleep. That state akin to sleep. You know, when you're really super drowsy, this is when our imagination is and subconscious is most impressionable just before we go into sleep, and where really all the magic happens. And that's another video, another day, another video coming up. Yes. So our brain physiology. Okay, so what happens? Through our life, we develop different states of arousal and activation. And the main center of our activation comes from the amygdala, which is essentially our fear center. This is one example of what the deeper elements of relaxation do within the depth of our brain and then intertwined with our nervous system. Our amygdala ends up getting inflamed due to how we channel through and process through these large bits of turbulence. Doesn't have to be large, can be small, varying degrees of turbulence and high emotional trauma that we experience in life. And through this, our physiology gets impeded, which means our amygdala can swell up, which means we have a high activation level. We have a high state of arousal, and we can bring us into this high state of like, oh wow, okay, so I'm constantly on alert. This is one characteristic of it. So when we do this, we come into dynamic and altered state breath work. We start to relax these deep emotional centers within us. So we've got the limbic system, we've got the amygdala, and these all work together as our deep emotional center and where like emotional memory is stored. So what we need to do is, because we've got such a high state of arousal, we need to come in and we need to soften and relax these inner centers to help bring up and process anything that's not processed within our nervous system. And we do that from altered state breath work. This is essentially what it is. So as we're guiding ourselves around these altered states, these brainwave states, we slow things down, we achieve such a degree of relaxation, but also alertness as well. So we're not going to sleep. We're all like asleep, but we're also highly alert as well. And we achieve this deep state of relaxation and like decompression inwardly that we actually start to be able to bring to the surface and into the prefrontal cortex everything that needs to be processed. And we can really feel into our body as well, that our body holds on to so much, you know, and it's held within our body, and it's like these core centers which make all of this happen within us. So this is why it's really cool. And we come into a state of deep resolution and completion just from this rhythmic breath pattern that we have going on. And that's why it's such a phenomenal tool. It's so phenomenal. And I see this when I facilitate someone through this process. I can see and observe just from how they were at the start and how they were at the end with what they say. They can feel there's like a weight that's been lifted, an emotional weight that's been lifted off their shoulders, which we can't really conceptualize as humans, but we just feel it to a really profound degree. So my friends, what does this mean? This means we have now the opportunity to explore ourselves onto a much deeper level. We get a chance to let go of the past. We get a chance to start redesigning and reshaping our future. We get a chance to elevate our consciousness. We get a chance to shed everything that's holding us back from actualizing the life that we truly desire. This is such a fantastic opportunity for us. And I'm going to leave that with you, my friends. I'm going to leave that with you. Come and chat to me. Come and find me. Drop a comment. Send me some love. And I'll see you all in the next video.